Welcome to my channel, Not Your Average Weight Loss. I'm Karen, not your average Karen. So I wanted to do something different for this third video. I wanted to kind of shoot at the hip, and I did write down a couple notes of some things I wanted to discuss. Again, I want to try to keep this as short as possible, but also provide you with some, I feel, is, some good information for your journey. So the first note I have is regarding electrolytes. I do have to tell you that during my whole journey to this day, I have not taken any electrolytes. I don't think they're necessary. I'm not a doctor. This is my opinion, of course. What I can tell you is this. I started my journey on March 23rd of 2025, and I'm already down 36 pounds. And I have not used any electrolytes. I really think it's a waste of money. I really do. I think if you season your food properly, whole foods, of course, there's no need for that. The next thing I want to talk about is dosing and titration. There's some confusion and questions in regards to this particular topic. And some people feel like doses... It's dose dependent, how you lose your weight, and that's not true. It's the higher dose you get, you're not going to find that you're going to lose weight any faster. For example, in my situation, I was on 2.5 milligrams of compounded tirzepatide for about 3 months, and then I went up to 3.0 milligrams, and I've continued that for the rest of my journey. And like I said in the beginning, I've lost 36 pounds. So it's not this medication is not dose dependent. Everybody is different. You have to do what's right for you. The 3.0 seems to be my sweet spot for now. I'm still losing weight. I don't have any of the food noise. So everybody's different is my point. The next thing is strength training. I just want to reiterate, and I've said this before in my other videos, how important strength training is. When I started my journey, my GLP-1 journey, back in March of this year, I began to strength train on day one, okay? I started at low weights, and I moved myself up. That's the other thing too. If you continue, for example, on 5 pounds, and you continue on 5 pounds for a month, you're not going to see any results, okay? So you want to make sure to increase your weight as you continue your weight training, because that's when you're going to see results. That's when you're going to see a muscle growth, and that's what we want, right? So I do work out at home with dumbbells, and I find that's been convenient. I have no excuse, and it's been working out perfectly for me. So the next important thing I want to mention is eating protein. So right now I've been eating, I've upped my protein actually, with supplementation of some protein bars, some protein shakes. I recommend Fairlife. I'm not, they're nothing to do with me. I'm just giving you my opinion again. I've tried a bunch of different protein shakes, and this has been the best for me. So I'm up to about 135 grams of protein a day, which is great. I feel great. My activity level is great. I don't get tired. I can do my workouts. So that's the number one focus other than strength training is my recommendation. So the next thing I want to talk about is you're probably thinking, well, what do I eat to get all this protein? Like I mentioned earlier, protein shakes, protein bars, a lot of salmon, a lot of chicken, tuna, and steak. And by the way, I've noticed that grass-fed, leaner cuts like filet mignon, petite fillets, sirloins, they have the most protein of any other cuts. You can look that up yourself. I'm just giving you some information and use that, you know, as you see fit. And grass-fed's not bad. You definitely have to get used to it for sure. So the next thing is cravings. Through this whole journey, I've noticed I have not had any cravings at all for sugar, ice cream, and chocolate. Before my GLP-1 journey, that's all I craved. That was my go-to, right? But with this medication, you know it's working. I have no cravings. Of course, at birthday parties and things like that, I'll have a piece of, not even a piece, maybe a couple tablespoons of cake, of birthday cake or something like that. But other than that, no cravings at all. So that's a good thing, right? You know, we know that the medication is working when that occurs. The other thing I wanted to mention real quick is called microdosing. I'm sure everyone has heard about microdosing, and everybody has their own definition of what that is. So my definition is, for example, compounded tirzepatide, you start at the 2.5 milligrams. So anything below that, I would consider microdosing. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've actually been microdosing my husband for about 3 to 4 months on a 1 milligram dose, and he's been doing great. His body composition is a lot different than mine. He used to be a bodybuilder, so he doesn't need that starting dose, that higher dose, but he's still getting all the benefits with the 1 milligram. And he feels great. It's working for him. He likes it. I give him the 1 milligram dose every week. So that's it for now. I want to thank you all. Please like and subscribe, and put some comments down. I want to hear about everybody's journey, and also if you have any recommendations for me on my videos, I'd love to hear them. Please be kind. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next week for the next video. You enjoy the rest of your day and have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.